Hi and welcome back to the Hibernate tutorial series by Lokam Chanakya. If you haven't watched the introduction video, then watch video 1, and if you already watched the second video, then watch video 3 onwards. In today's video, we'll be covering the project structure in a Hibernate application, the prerequisites that you need to actually program using Hibernate, and also some of the configuration details that you'll be needing to create your Hibernate application. So let's take a look into those. I already have these files created here which have the information, the configuration information, as well as the prerequisites needed. So let's just open it using a text editor. So there you go. So first let's go and look into the project folder structure. So the basic project folder structure in Hibernate is divided into 3 basic parts. One of the parts is all your Java files, that is your persistent classes, the database operation class, and also the main class where you're actually using all these functions. The second will be your XML files. One way to actually map your Pojo class to the to the relational tables is to use XML mapping. Another way, and the newer way to do it will be using annotations, which we will be using. Another way, an XML file that has to be there in the Hibernate project is hibernate.cfg.xml, which actually defines all your database credentials, the database dialect and other things. And this is basically your configuration file that's called when you use the configuration class, as we talked in the first tutorial. The next part are the jars that need to be added into the Eclipse library or the project library. The Hibernate jars, which include all the configuration classes, the session classes, and transaction classes, and other SQL query classes that we use, and also the JDBC connector jar file that we also need. Now, what are the prerequisites that you actually need to use Hibernate? You should have some sort of IDE, either Eclipse or NetBeans, which are usually used a lot. You can also use other IDEs that are available. You will need the Hibernate jar files, as well as the JDBC connector jar file for MySQL, as we'll be using MySQL in this tutorial. I'll give the links for both of these jar files in the video description below. We'll also need a relational database such as MySQL. You can also use databases such as Oracle or IBM DB2. You will also need the latest version of Java, which is preferable. You can also use JDK6 if you have it. If you're deploying a web application with Hibernate, then you'll need either one of these application servers. Tomcat is a web application server, Glassfish is an application server. If not, if you're using a standalone Java application, then you don't need this web servers. You'll also need some sort of UI manager for your MySQL database, such as SQLlog or PHPMyAdmin. We will be using PHPMyAdmin. Also, the required knowledge that you guys require for this tutorial is to be able to do basic Java programming. You'll need to know how to configure relational databases and create tables in relational databases, as well as the DDL and DML statements. You'll also need a bit of a view on generics, collections, and the iterator classes. You'll also need to know basic XML syntax and the layout. Now, coming up to the configuration details that we'll be using in later tutorials, you'll need the Hibernate dialect, which for us is org.hibernate.dialect.mysql for the MySQL databases. Also, we have the credentials and the URL, which are the database's configuration information. This one is the URL for MySQL database on my particular machine, that is on the local host, and the database name is uhelp. Similarly, the username and password are uhelp and uhelp. The JDBC driver is mentioned, and we also have the DTD definition, which defines this as a Hibernate configuration file. I hope you liked our videos, and if you do like the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also view the other videos in our channel. Each like and subscription is one more life to us. Thank you.